Okay, Tommy, this video is show you how to use your new scan tool. I'm going to hook it up to my car, which is running right now, and I'll walk you through the basics so you understand how to use this. This way with the video you can go back anytime and re-watch something if you're not sure on how it works. You'll have the answers anytime you want. You can watch this right on your phone. So first off, you've got your OBD2 16-pin connector. You see there is a fuse in there, so if this ever does not work, you want to check that fuse, see if it's popped. That'll only happen if something is either wrong with the scan tool or wrong with the car. But if for some reason it's not working, that's what you want to check to make sure that's not popped. Alright. Now on every car after 1996, you're going to find an OBD2 port underneath the dash, which is where you plug this into. When you have good power and ground on that connector, you're going to have that green light that comes on, which means you're all good. If that does not come on, there may be a problem with the vehicle. This port here needs power and ground to run the scan tool. If it doesn't have that, you'll have to figure out why. That could be a fuse inside the vehicle or another issue. But this one works, so we'll show you how everything works here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into global. And what global is it's just basic generic data that works on every single vehicle. And the nice part is that global is going to be the same on every single vehicle. Now it doesn't go real in depth. It's just basic things. But if you just want to do a quick code check, or if you want to see some basic data items quickly, this is the way to go. Over here is going to be the scanner. That's to enter into vehicle specific mode. So if I want to look at a Honda and I want to go into the Honda specifics, I go to that one. If I want to look at a General Motors, a Chevy, or a Hyundai, or a Subaru, I would go into that. But again, we're going to start with global, just the basic one that you can use this on any vehicle. And it's just a quick thing because you don't have to enter any of the vehicle information. So we're going to click on it, and it's going to link up to my vehicle here. Now it does have a training mode, which will walk you through some of the steps. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to go straight into the regular mode. And when you're working on a car, this is the way that you want to go. If you want to learn some more, go into the training mode. But we're going to go into diagnose. And I should mention, so it's a touch screen, but you can also use the buttons over here. So I can use my buttons, I can scroll through, or I can just tap on the screen. It's whichever you prefer, whatever's easiest. So the easiest way to go here is to go to Start Communication. This is going to give you information on your OBD2 port, and let's say you can't find this connector, you're not sure where that is. Let's say you're working on an Acura, and let's just say this is what I'm working on. It will tell you where that connector is. So center console, behind cover, in front of shift lever. Okay, so if you're ever wondering where is this, I can't plug it in, I can't find it, that's where you go to. Actually, we're going to exit back out here. And if you ever need to back up out of the screen, hit the N button, the no button. That sends you back one page from where you were. So back. Now I'm back to the start here. Okay, so connect your information is where it will tell you where your connector is if you can't find it. Manual protocol selection, that's going to be if you want to enter it manually, but the easier way to do it is just to hit Start Communication, and then it's going to link up with the vehicle automatically. And this is the easiest way to get into your global. So I hit Continue, and now I'm into my global menu. And you can see over here there is a scroll bar that you can use with the touchscreen, or you can use these arrow buttons, which I find is a little bit easier to use those arrow buttons. So what we have here, we have our readiness monitors. So the vehicle monitors a lot of systems, and all this is telling you is which ones have run. So monitors complete this cycle, and it's not giving me any information on that. Some cars will give you information for what you're looking for, other ones won't. Alright, the biggest ones that you want to worry about right now is display trouble codes. So this is going to be the codes that keep your engine light on. And I should mention, global is only for the engine computer. If you need to access the airbag computer or the ABS computer, you don't want to go into global. Global is only for the engine. So these are my codes that are in my car right now. And if I click on it, it saves the code for me. But I'm going to go back out. The other one that's going to be important is looking at the data stream, okay? So if I click current data, now I can go in, I can see all my data. And you'll see across here you have a lot of options. That's obviously just to go back. The home screen's to go right all the way to the beginning. If you just want to start over, you can click the home screen. So you see, as my engine's running here, it's recording data. Okay, now if I want to stop that data, I can hit this pause button and it'll stop recording and it'll show a blue line. So let's say you're driving and the problem occurred while you have this hooked up. You can pause and then you can get to a safe place, pull over, park the vehicle, and then you can go back and you can look at this. And you can, once it's paused, you can use these two arrows to go back through. I'll show you here. To go back through or back forward into the data. Okay? So once you're done looking at your data, you want to go back to live. You hit this red button. And now I'm back to recording live. The A to Z, if you hit that, you can sort your data items over here. You can sort them alphabetically, A to Z, Z to A, or you can just organize them the way they are in the scan tool, which that's usually the way that I do it. So we'll hit factory. This one here is going to allow you to set trigger. And what the trigger does, so if I set a trigger, and I'm going to set it for my RPM. I'm going to set this for my RPM. Over here, so this is what my engine's running at right now. Let's say I want it to inform me when the engine RPM gets to 1000. You know, maybe I'm doing something else and I want to know when something happens. This will set off an alarm. Basically, it'll beep at you when it reaches whatever you set it at. So now I've got it set at 1000 and I hit OK. Now I hit arm triggers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rev this up. Did you hear a beep there when it hit 1000 RPM? So you can do that for any data item you'd like. You can pick a point where it will alert you. So then if you want them off, you can just hit clear trigger and now it's off. There's no more trigger. Okay, the zoom function, that's your little magnifying glass right there. That's going to allow you to either zoom in or zoom out on the data stream. So now I just zoomed out. I can go one time, I can go 2 times, go even closer. I'm going to get some better data items on here for us. The O2 is a good one to watch. So you can see the O2 is up and down. Let's say I want to zoom in on that more. So now I zoom in on it more. It's giving me more time across the screen. If I zoom out, it's over a longer period of time. So let me just show you. I'll show you all the way in that we can zoom in. So we're real close on that waveform. If I want to see detail, if I want to see small glitches, this is where I'll go. If I want to see what's happening over a long period of time, I zoom out. And so that will change this time base right here. And for now, we'll just go back to normal, which is just one time. This is your base setting, what it will be at normally. Okay, now the check mark up here is going to allow you to pick what data items you want to see. So let's say I don't want to see absolute throttle position. It doesn't help me right now. I can click it off, and then when I go back, it won't be there anymore. And there's two buttons over here in the corner, and I can select all, or I can select none. So if you want to start fresh, let's say I only want to see engine speed, okay? So I click engine speed, and now I go back, and that's the only one that I see. So sometimes you don't want to be bothered by other data items. You just want to see one. And so that's the way to do that, is this little check mark. So I hit my check mark. We're going to go back, we're going to look at all of them now. Now I just selected all of them, and you can scroll down the same way over here and go through all of them. And you can pick and choose which ones you want to see, which is helpful sometimes in a diagnosis. You don't always need all of the data items. Okay, so next we're going to go to this one, which is going to show you your data items on here. So right now we're seeing the graphs. If I didn't want to see those graphs, I would hit this top one that says PID. That's parameter identification. And now I can see everything in a number value rather than a graph. And sometimes that's easier to watch a number, and it's easier to scroll through things. But then sometimes you do want to see the graph. And I can pick 4 graphs, and now it's going to show me the 4 data items. Or I can pick 1 graph, and it's going to show me 1 data item on the bigger portion of the screen. So this is basically, you're picking how you want to see the data. And I do like the graphing function. That is nice that it gives you that. And see, now I can pick 2. So that's to pick either numbers or a graph. And the lock screen makes it, actually I'm not sure what that lock screen does. I think that freezes the screen, so we'll unfreeze it here. Yeah, it's not working for me. I'm gonna go back and start over here. It seems to have frozen up on me here. It stopped working. Maybe I was hitting too many buttons. I'll pause the video here. I'll get this going again so I'm not wasting your time. I think it froze up.